powering to the left side, gets to midfield. Brad Jackson with the tackle. Mark Brunell, 7-3 as a starting quarterback against these Baltimore Ravens. And he's a very mobile quarterback.
And bones about it, we're going to throw the ball. Now you see him run the ball the first play, but he said, hey, we'll even call the Ravens up on the phone. Tell them we're coming at you and we're throwing it.
Elvis Joseph lines up in the backfield. Second down, 2 from the 49. Sean Dawkins in motion. Here's Brunell underneath, batted down at the line of scrimmage on the left side. Sam Adams, 6'3", 200 and about 60 pounds. Batting it down. Let's take a look offensively for the Jaguars. Fordham, Meester, Smith, Wiegert, and Williams. Backs and receivers. Fred Taylor missing his 8th consecutive game, so Stacey Mack gets the start. Dawkins, Smith, and McCardell. 3 wide receivers in the lineup. They really want to spread out this Baltimore squad. Third down, 2 from the 49. They hand it off. This is Joseph, tripped up. Lunges forward. Peter Boulware with the tackle. And quickly we'll take a look at the defense for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3 in the league against the rush, Thomas, Adams, Siragusa, Larry Webster. Thomas and Webster getting starts today. Meanwhile, Ray Lewis in the middle, Jamie Sharper and Peter Boulware on the ends. And in the secondary, Starks has a groin injury. McAllister, the other corner, Woodson, and Corey Harris.
And Gus, watch Peter Boulware trip Elvis Joseph. You said tripped up on the play. You nailed it.
Yeah.
And that's a penalty. Peter Boulware got away with one right there. And one of these times, when you're in there and you can't get your hands on the guy, you might as well stick your leg out there and see what happens. And like we said, Peter Boulware got away with a little trip there.
So Chris Hansen stands at the 36. Jermaine Lewis back at the 10. Nice snap. Hansen, high, wobbly kick. Jermaine Lewis with the fair catch signal at the 13, a 36-yard punt. And let's take a look at some scores from around the National Football League. Most of these games final except for one, Miami and Buffalo. But how about at the bottom of your screen, the Washington Redskins to defeat Philadelphia on the road. That's their 5th straight win. They're 5-5 after losing their first 5. So Marty Schottenheimer, Brent, goes from being almost fired to maybe the coach of the year.
And we had that game when they played Seattle and really kind of their rebound game. They came in there and crushed them and kind of gave them a lot of confidence. They've been rolling ever since.
First down 10 from the 13. Brookins, nowhere to go. Stacked up, driven backwards, down at the 9. TJ Slaughter in on the play. Defensively for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Wynn, Walker, Payne, Tony Brackens up front. The linebackers, Kevin Hardy out of the lineup because of a knee injury. Danny Clark replaces him. Nickerson and TJ Slaughter. And in the secondary, Fernando Bryant suffered a concussion last week against Pittsburgh. He's in the lineup. McCree, Donovan Darius, the hard-hitting safety, and Aaron Beasley. Second down, 13 from the 10. Grbac passing from the goal line, caught at the 20-yard line. And that's Shannon Sharp with the catch. It's a gain of 12. And Sharp very critical of Gbac's performance last week against Cleveland. He came out and said, hey, Elvis was brought here to do a job and he isn't doing it.
Well, on the lighter side of that too, Elvis told us that he sat down with Shannon Sharp and they aired some things out, and I think that they got it all out in the open. He said he feels good about it, and Elvis realizes his best mismatch today is using Shannon Sharp versus the linebackers of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He lines up in the slot at the top of your screen. Here's Grbac to pass, throws to the sideline. Todd Heap, great catch, gobbles it up at the 40-yard line, out of bounds. And it's a gain of 20. Fernando Bryant with the tackle. Now let's go to New York for an update with Jim Nance.
All right, Gus, you had it 27-all. Here's how it happened. Olanda Mare from 39 yards with a little more than a minute to go on the ensuing kick. The Bills fumbled, but it's under review right now. It looks like it will stand as a Miami recovery, but it's under review with a minute to play. Let's go back to you.
Dolphins trying to dodge a bullet after losing to the Jets last week. Brookins over the left side, breaks a tackle, gets inside Jacksonville territory. As Marlon McCree and Donovan Darius stopped him, but it was a gain of 11.
Gain of 12.
And this is the second week in a row we've had the Ravens, and Brookins, the more film I watch of him, the more times I see him play, I get a little bit more excited about him. Very powerful runner. coming along this year, making some things happen. Still has some things to learn in pass protection, but as far as getting his head in there and hitting the hole, he's doing a better job every week.
First down and 10 from the Jacksonville 48. Here's Brookins again with a lot of running room straight ahead. And Brookins gets to the 43-yard line, a gain of 6. And that'll bring up second down. And Jason Brookins out of Tiny Lane College, a Division III school, started with the Baltimore Ravens on the practice squad, was released, and then take a look at his travels.
And Gus, this is the only thing you need to know if you're going to watch the game today. And Jason Brookins, former Jacksonville practice squad player, little revenge game for the running back.
Running hard early. Grbac underneath, caught. Shannon Sharp heads upfield and is downed at the 29. Hardy Nickerson with the tackle. But right now, some good play calling by Matt Cavanaugh, mixing the pass and the run. And Shannon Sharp takes a heck of a blow.
And you know Shannon Sharp's going to always bounce back up. But Elvis Grbac doing a nice job of finding his tight ends. Third tight end reception, 2 for Shannon Sharp. You see the ball come out there at the end. Shannon gets a break, bounces right back into his basket. But we saw Todd Heap catch the big corner out. Keep watching these tight ends.
Brookins again. Second offensive drive of the game for the Baltimore Ravens. And Shannon Sharp became the all-time leader in receptions for a tight end last week against Cleveland, passing his boss Ozzie Newsome. And Sharp currently with 671 career receptions. But who's that guy on the end?
You know, you guys keep picking on me every week.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's okay.
Brent Jones.
It was great to be there last week and watch Shannon Sharp get that record. He told me the night before he dreamed that he fumbled the catch and he lost the ball. Fortunately, he didn't do that.
Mo Williams on the draw play. And Williams stopped by Donovan Darius. No gain on the play. That'll bring up third down and about 9 yards to go from the 28. They need to go to the 19.5-yard line.
And look for this Jacksonville defense to attack the middle of this Baltimore Ravens offensive line. They've had trouble from the center over the guards. A lot of penetration been allowed this year, and that's where they've been the most susceptible.
Mo Williams in the backfield, Heap in motion. Here's Grbac to pass, looking underneath. Heap with the catch, breaks the tackle, but will be short of the first down. He stopped at the 22. Needed to get inside the 20. So that'll bring up a fourth down. And here comes one of the hottest, not kickers, but players in the entire NFL. Matt Stover has kicked a field goal in an NFL record 36 straight. But even better, he's hit 17 in a row after his first miss of the season against Chicago. This one from 40 yards out. Richardson is the holder. Gets it down, it's up and in. Matt Stover continues to be red hot, his 37th consecutive game with a field goal, and the Ravens take a 3-0 lead over the Jaguars. This young lady hanging out with dad. She loves her Jaguars, and the home team down 3-0 right now here in the first quarter of play. So Danny Kite comes in to send it away. He is the kickoff specialist. Elvis Joseph back deep had a 95-yard return for a touchdown versus the Steelers last week. Here's Joseph straight ahead, finding room, and he gets to the 40. A return of 32 yards. And a flag on the play. Dwayne Starks with the special teams tackle, but a holding penalty called against Jacksonville. And last couple of weeks, or last week in particular, Baltimore had a tough time covering kickoffs.
Yeah, and Brian Billick told us they can't allow short field versus
During
Cleveland.
the return, holding, number 55, 10-yard penalty, first down, Jacksonville.
Danny Clark called for the hold. So Brian Billick watches on the sideline, his team up 3-0. Sunny day in Jacksonville. Our score 3-0. The Ravens lead the Jaguars. The scoring drive capped off by a 41-yard field goal by Matt Stover. And the Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 19. Here's the handoff, and it goes to Joseph. And Peter Boulware is right there. Brunell on the play action fake is stopped at his own 7-yard line. That didn't fool anybody.
And Peter Boulware coming from the outside with his hand down. Linebacker coming outside versus Kyle Brady, and that's a tough block for the big tight end. And Boulware came charged through there, didn't go for the fake, and got right into Mark Brunell's kitchen.
I went for the fake, but Peter didn't. And the Ravens only had 1 sack last week versus Cleveland. Second down and 22 from the 7. Here's Brunell out of the shotgun, dancing. Brunell throws, and it is incomplete. Mark Brunell in a lot of trouble, chased by Peter Boulware. Let's go to New York again and Jim Nantz.
We have seen here, Gus, a collapse in the fourth quarter by the Bills. They were up 10 with 5 minutes to play. The Dolphins score with Chris Chambers for the time in the quarter to take a 7-point lead. Bills have a 4th down play at midfield with 15 seconds to play. Let's go back to you.
Things have gone from bad to worse for the Buffalo Bills. As Miami comes back. 3rd down, 22 from the 7. They need to go to the 19 for a 1st down. Here's Brunell, the handoff. Joseph on the draw, gets to the 12. Ray Lewis on the stop after a gain of 5. So the Jaguars decide to play conservatively, and they will punt it away. Chris Hansen onto the field.
And guys, one of the reasons that they look a little flustered on the Jacksonville side is Chris McAllister, the great defensive back for the Baltimore Ravens, is following Jimmy Smith, the Jags' top receiver, all over the field today. They have never done that, and that was one of the things they told us they were going to do. Jimmy Smith has had huge days against his team, especially against Dwayne Starks, and he's getting Chris McAllister all over the field today.
6 100-yard games for Smith against Baltimore. Hansen 2 yards deep in his own end zone. And a flag on the play.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start offense, number 26, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Hansley battles. So they will back up the Jaguars. Now Hansen standing in the back of his own end zone.
And as a punter, you just know that there's no room for error. That ball that's high, you got to be careful how you jump. You got to jump forward. You can't jump backwards, because if those heels touch the white stripe, you're out of the end zone. It starts getting in your head a little bit when you're punting from your own end zone.
He's averaging 45.7 yards per punt. Jermaine Lewis standing at the Jacksonville 48. Nice snap. Hansen gets off the high wobbly kick, and Lewis called for the fair catch at the 45. Well done by Hansen. A 48-yard punt, but a penalty on the play, and a fight between McAllister and Battles.
And I think they might call Chris McAllister for holding.
During the kick, holding on the receiving team, number 21. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the fair catch. 1st down.
Larry Nimmers, your referee, and with 4:29 to go, they push the Ravens backwards on top 3-0. Wear what the players and coaches wear. Shop for authentic merchandise for the holidays at NFL.com or AOL, keyword NFL.com. Ravens on top of the Jaguars 3-0. Grbac throwing towards the sideline. Great catch. Travis Taylor going up high and makes the grab at the Jacksonville 45, a gain of 20.
And it's the second time Elvis had taken advantage of that corner out. Watch Travis Taylor bend it in and bend it back outside, find that soft spot in the zone right there. Elvis putting it right on the money, and Elvis has been very accurate. And when Elvis gets time, he's a very accurate thrower. 5 of 5 thus far, 70 yards. He's got to feel pretty good about that bouncing back. Don't take that unnecessary chance that he talked to us about.
1st down and 10 at the 44. Brookins skipping through the hole, lowers his head, drives forward down to the Jacksonville 39. Hard linebacker with the tackle, but brings up 2nd down and 5, and the Ravens look really sharp and down, and he is chopped down at the 25. A gain of 11 and a first down for the Ravens.
You see Brian Billick excited about Elvis hitting Mo Williams out there in the flat, and that's one of the things this Ravens team hasn't done as much. Hit the backs out of the backfield. Let them get some yardage with the ball coming out of the backfield. So thus far, Elvis hitting tight ends and backs, spreading the ball around.
First down 10 from the 27 for the Ravens. We'd like to welcome those of you who were watching the Miami-Buffalo game, where the Dolphins come all the way back on the road to defeat the Bills 34-27. I'm Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. This Ravens team got on the scoreboard first with a 41-yard field goal by Matt Stover. Elvis Grbac has been perfect so far. Grbac 6 of 6, 81 yards after throwing 4 interceptions and fumbling once last week versus Cleveland. Second down and 11 at the 28. Grbac to throw underneath, incomplete. And Brent, what are the keys for both teams today?
Well, the big key for the Ravens is to protect Elvis Grbac. We've seen thus far he's very accurate when he has time. He's done a great job of being efficient, spreading the ball around, getting his backs involved, his tight ends involved thus far early in the game. For the Jaguars, they're going to have to be able to handle those matchups with the linebackers on tight ends and backs. That's where they're most susceptible. Their defensive backs play a little bit more soft coverage, but these Ravens wide receivers aren't world beaters, and so they really have to concentrate on the mismatch, and that's tight ends and backs versus their linebackers.
7th play of the drive that started at the 36, third down and 11 from the 28. Grbac on play action underneath, wide open Shannon Sharp, lowers his shoulder and gets the first down. Down at the 16-yard line, a 12-yard gain for Shannon Sharp as he was stopped by T.J. Slaughter and Hardy Nickerson.
And guys, I understand zone defense, but watch Shannon Sharp. He's going to come off right here and get into that zone. Someone's got to be responsible. That's too much yardage. Somebody's got to have that middle zone right there. Elvis Grbac feels it, goes ahead and just dumps it off to his big tight end. And Shannon Sharp takes another shot, but he, like a Timex, keeps on ticking.
He's a little woozy on the Ravens sideline. Mo Williams hopping through the hole, and Williams with the burst and gets to the 9-yard line. Marlon McCree, the rookie safety, with the tackle, but it's a gain of 7.
You know, I like Mo Williams, and I haven't seen him a whole lot this year, but the 3 or 4 times that he carried the ball last week versus the Cleveland Browns, he sticks his head down and he hits that hole full speed. He's got a little bit more of a burst than Brookings, it looks like, and we seen him catch the ball out of the backfield. He looks like a good young player.
Mo in his 6th season. Shannon Sharp on the sideline took a pretty hard hit from McCree. Second down 3 from the 9. Inside handoff, Mo Williams again. Here's a young man, Williams, that played his first 5 years with Minnesota, joined the team on September 4th. The Ravens have had all kinds of injuries with their running backs. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter with the score: the Ravens 3, the Jaguars nothing, but the Ravens driving. Back to Jacksonville right after this. That's the way to spend a Sunday on the St. Johns River here in Jacksonville. Ravens with a 3-0 lead. I'm sure they're watching the game. Third down and 1 from the 7 for the Ravens. Ryan Badejo lines up in the backfield. Heat goes in motion. Here's Grbac spinning out. Quick strike. Ismail cradles the ball inside the 5 and picks up a first down. So Elvis Grbac, 8 of 9 to start the game, and Baltimore has not recorded a touchdown inside the red zone their last 5 trips.
And we've talked all year about how important touchdowns are in the red zone instead of field goals, and you see Matt Stover a lot, and that really talks to the problems of this Baltimore Ravens offense. Touchdowns are important, especially in this series, where 13 points usually decides the game.
Here's the handoff, and it's Brookins trying to get close to the goal line. Tackled by an avalanche of Jaguars. Seth Payne leaving the way.
Now, the Ravens have had some success with Brookins running the ball up in there. This is the perfect time, Gus. Second down for play action. Third down, you know the pass is coming. This is the time. Fake Brookins up inside. Hit one of the two tight ends. Shannon Sharpe was banged up and on the sideline, but nothing makes your shoulder feel better than the red zone when you can get in the end zone.
12th play of the drive that started at the 36. They hand it off to Brookins. Brookins smelling it, and he gets in. Play action not necessary.
I guess not. It looked like he was keeping those legs moving. Brookins not to be denied. And never discount a revenge game. We talked about Brookins being on the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad. And let's watch him keep those legs churning. And he's got to break the plane with the ball. You see him do the little arm over there. Great job. Little dangerous move bringing that ball over the top. But he got it into the end zone.
And he'll keep that one as Brookins trots off the field. So far 11 carries, 27 yards, and that is his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. So Stover in to attempt the extra point. It's up and good. So with 13:43 to go here in the second quarter of play, the Ravens are off to a terrific start. Marlon McCree in a lot of pain, being helped off the field. The rookie from Kentucky, a 7th-round pick. This one's hard to look at, folks.
And watch number 32 right here. He's just going to get planted on the ground, and the pile just rolls right over the top of him, and you can't keep your legs out from underneath it.
Ravens take over, first down and 10 at the 31. Elvis down the sideline for Ismail. Out of bounds. And you know what? Brian Billick is a straight shooter. He does not mince words, and we found that out. I found that out yesterday in our meetings with him. Last week, we showed a shot of Elvis Grbac on the sideline. I commented on the shot. I thought Elvis Grbac was crying. A tear was coming out of his eye. Now, according to Brian and according to Elvis, this is not a tear, this is sweat. Billick came into our meeting, and he let us have it. He let me have it, and it was actually refreshing to see a coach be honest with you and tell you how he feels, and you know that he projects that to his players because we found it out firsthand.
And we did, both of us.
Yes, both of us.
Tears, sweat, doesn't matter. If you win, nobody cares.
So Elvis Grbac is off to a very good start. 3rd down and 8 from the 33. Grbac thus far 8 of 10, 96 yards. They're 4 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. Here's Grbac looking, almost picked off, broken up at the last moment. Mo Williams, the intended receiver, but Aaron Beasley dives and gets a hand into the passing lane. And the Ravens are forced to punt it away.
And you see Elvis looking out for Mo, out on the sidelines, and Aaron Beasley coming off his zone coverage and coming up into the pattern, diving, making the shot. And I think Elvis took another shot on that play, but for the most part today has had time to throw the ball, which has been a big key.
Kyle Richardson stands at the 18-yard line. Damon Gibson back deep at the 20. Richardson barely gets it away and gets away a beauty. Flag on the play, and this play was blown dead.
Snap. Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So they'll move it back 5 yards. And now Richardson will punt it from the 13. Gibson steps up to the 25. And McCree being helped off the field. Young man has had a terrific season. A very hard player. Played linebacker in college. And that knee is really in bad shape right now. Wobbly kick, a short kick by Richardson. Gibson with the fair catch at the 36, a 36-yard punt. So, with 10:30 to go in the second quarter, Ravens up by 10. Beautiful shot of downtown Jacksonville. Ravens on top 10-0. And Jacksonville will be the host city for the 2005 Super Bowl. Already the committee is being formed, and they told you an interesting way of getting accommodations for fans coming to see the game.
Yeah, they didn't have enough hotels, so they're bringing in cruise ships.
That should be a lot of fun. First down and 10. At the 36, here's Mack running outside with the lane. Mack picks up a first down before being drilled after a gain of 11.
In these last few weeks, when teams have had success running versus the Ravens, they've run at the defensive ends. Let's watch Stacey Mack just coming on the counter, left side, and there's the hole. And you see the pinch by the defensive ends, Adelius Thomas, and there's nobody home. Just get up and hit the hole.
The first down of the game for the Jaguars. They have it at their own 47. Brady in motion. Short drop for Brunell, throws to the sideline. Jimmy Smith with the catch, but he's wrapped up quickly by Chris McAllister. A gain of 3. And the Jaguars are without one of the best offensive linemen in all of football. Tony Baselli had both shoulders operated on after week 3, and he's still in a cast. As you can tell, that left shoulder is in a cast, and it's even tough for the big fella to sleep at night.
Yeah, well, it stays like that 24 hours a day, so he has to sleep in a big lazy boy. That must be a big chair.
Yes, it is. Second down and 7 from midfield. Out of the shotgun, Brunell looking, throws, Smith, cut by McCardell at the 30. A 20-yard gain for Keenan McCardell. Stopped by Rod Woodson. And the chains continue to move for the Jags.
And that's one of the rare times that you'll see those two receivers in the same spot. It actually looked like Mark Brunell was throwing it to Jimmy Smith, who wasn't looking. And then out of nowhere comes Keenan McCardell on the outside in the corner route. And you see the two receivers in the same area. That's not supposed to happen. The Jags got away with one right there.
So first down at the Baltimore 29. Elvis Joseph, the lone setback. McCardell in motion. Here's Elvis over the right side, turns the corner, lowers his head, and picks up a first down. So the Jaguars starting to find a rhythm here with 8:27 to go in the second quarter.
Now they're going to run at the right defensive end, right side. Actually, the left defensive end. You see Elvis Joseph, who's got some breakaway speed, made some things happen in the preseason for this Jags team, has been banged up, has had some hamstring problems. But you mentioned before the 95-yard kickoff return last week versus Steelers. This kid can make some things happen.
First down and 10 at the Ravens 17. Out of the offset eye. Mack is the deep man. Here's Mack. Breaks the tackle. Stays on his feet, goes out of bounds. Corey Harris there to make the play, but the Ravens have problems on their defensive line right now because Michael McCrary is out for the remainder of the year. He had knee surgery this week on 2 different places in his knee. Rob Burnett had pins inserted in his hand this week as well. He also has a calf injury, so a lot of juggling for Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator.
And that's tough dealing with those injuries, and a part of that's been their defense has been on the field for so long this year. Haven't been able to sustain drives offensively.
They lose a yard on the last play, 2nd and 11. Brunell out of the shotgun, throws underneath. McCardell with the catch, and he's wrapped up at the 16 by Carnell Lake, the former Jaguar and 5-time Pro Bowler with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And I think Mark Brunell's starting to figure out that he's going to have to make some plays to Keenan McCardell, to Kyle Brady, to the backs coming out of the backfield, because Chris McAllister in the surprise move today is man on man. Jimmy Smith all over the field, and Jimmy Smith told us Chris McAllister is the best at the line of scrimmage, being physical and holding guys up.
Third down 8 from the 15. First down marker is at the 8-yard line, 7.5, 8-yard line. Ravens show a blitz. And let's see. The Jaguars say it's against Baltimore.
And if it is, the Jags got a break. They went on a hard count.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
That's Elvis Whitted.
And Tom Coughlin saying, how can a wide receiver be offsides? That is not allowed. That's one of the worst things you can do as a wide receiver, because you're going on the snap. You're so far out, you aren't going on the sound. And I don't know if Tom Coughlin necessarily agreed with that call. Let's watch it.
Sean Dawkins was the receiver to the left that moved. So instead of 3rd and 8, it's 3rd and 13 from the 20. 5 receiver package. Here's Brunell looking. Getting out of the pocket. Brunell throws in the end zone. Batted down at the last moment. Dwayne Starks batting it down. And that will bring on Mike Hollis in the field goal unit.
And Dwayne Starks actually slipped down and got back up to bat down this ball that was going toward Elvis Whitted. Starks do a nice job of recovering. Mark Brunell had time. That defensive backfield for the Baltimore Ravens had everybody blanketed.
So Mike Hollis, who's 20 of 24 in his career versus the Ravens, in to attempt a 38-yarder. Chris Hansen is the holder. Gets it down, it's up, and no good. Pulled it. And with 6:39 to play here in the second quarter, the Ravens hold on to their 10-0 lead. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. 6:39 to play in the first half. Ravens with the 10-0 lead over the Jaguars and the football at their own 28. First down. Grbac to pass, throws down the seam. Heat with a nice grab at the 40. It's a gain of 13.
Second big catch for the rookie tight end.
Back to the field goal. This one pulled. Hollis unable to get it through to get the Jags on the boards. Ryan Billick will take it. First down and 10 for his Ravens at the 41. Todd Heap today, 3 catches, 38 yards. They hand it off to Brookins, and he's met in the backfield, but keeps moving forward. Brookins gets to the 42. Gary Walker with the tackle.
And I think this Ravens offense has done a nice job today of mixing it up. They've run in running situations, and they've passed in passing situations, and then sometimes had a few play action passes. Now last week necessarily, they threw the ball an awful lot of times in running situations, a little bit because they were behind. And Matt Cavanaugh, I know he's a riverboat gambler coming from the 49ers. He likes to put that ball up, the former quarterback. But sometimes, and even I hate saying this, you got to run the ball.
Second and 9 from the 42. Here's Grbac firing underneath. It is picked off. Battles. And he's still on his feet. Battles at midfield, goes down at the 44, a 26-yard return. Ismael with the tackle. And with 5:13 to go here in the second quarter, Elvis Grbac throws his first interception.
Here's a shot down the middle of the field versus the 2-deep coverage. You got your all-pro tight end, Shannon Sharp, and you see the ball ricochet. Shannon just stops. The Battles filling in for Marlon McCree was back there playing that deep center field, and so off the ricochet gets it and gets some big positive yardage going back into Ravens territory.
Second interception of the season for Battles. And the Jaguars take over at the Baltimore 44. 14th interception of the year for Elvis Grbac. Brady in motion. Brunell, the pass to the sideline. Jimmy Smith, nice catch, out of bounds. At the 34, close to a first down.
And let's watch this great matchup. Jimmy Smith versus Chris McAllister running a square out right here. You see Chris McAllister there playing off. Very physical corner. Jimmy Smith does a nice job of rounding off that route, coming across straight out, keeping it flat, getting both feet in. And one of the things they mentioned is McAllister is susceptible to double moves. Are we going to see that out and up before this game is over?
Second and 1 from the 35. Another flag on the play.
False start offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Kyle Brady, the tight end. And now Tom Coughlin getting a little upset with all the penalties. Second down and 6 from the 40. Jacksonville penalized 4 times. Here's Brunell. Almost picked off. Ray Lewis had both hands on the football, but the ball thrown with so much velocity he couldn't hold on.
And Jimmy Smith ran a hitch and go versus Chris McAllister, and Mark Brunell was looking the other way, but he had 6. Watch Jimmy Smith right here on the double move. You see Chris McAllister bite? There's nobody. It's touchdown. Jimmy's got his hand up, and Mark Brunell was looking the other way, and he talked about the double move, and he just looked to the other side, and Ray Lewis almost had the pick.
So on third down and 6 at the 40, they need to go to the 34 for a first down. They're 0 for 4 on third down conversions today. And another flag. A false start.
False start offense, number 84, 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Did you think we were going to show Tom Coughlin after that penalty?
Yes.
He's already frustrated. And he's arguing with the officials right there. And I don't know, a false start is really pretty obvious for your own players, and just a little bit of undisciplined play by the offense here of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dawkins that time, third down and 11 from the 45. They need to go to the 34 for a first down. Here's Brunell. Steps up in the pocket on the run. It's incomplete. Dawkins not only penalized, but drops a sure first down and maybe a touchdown.
And they were holding Peter Boulware for sure on that play. I think Todd Fordham tackled Peter Boulware, who came off like a shot from the outside
Holding
end.
offense, number 78. Penalty is declined. Fourth down.
And let's go back to Sean Dawkins, who's going to be a key today. He's got to make his man miss. Coming across the middle, nice route, ball delivered right on the numbers, and Sean just takes his eye off it. Ball squirts right through his hands. Got to come up with those plays. Penalties, drop passes will kill you in this game.
Hansen stands at the 40. Lewis at the 10. High wobbly kick. Lewis camps under it, lets it go into the end zone. A 45-yard punt and a 25-yard net. Ravens with it at their own 20 after this. And don't forget, coming up on the next Still Halftime Report, join Jim Nantz and company for all the scores and highlights. 4:13 to play in the second quarter. The Ravens lead the Jaguars 10-0. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. And the Ravens with the football at their own 20, first down and 10. Gash and Brookins in the backfield. Taylor in motion. Brookins, second man through with a huge opening. Crawls ahead to the 30. A gain of 9. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Thomas Kincaid has sold more canvases than Rembrandt, Monet, Renoir, and Van Gogh combined. That's why he's on 60 Minutes tonight.
I know Thomas Kincaid.
Do you really?
Yeah. Super guy. Sharp businessman. Not to say great artist. See, you didn't know what I was going to say. You were nervous.
You scare me every time you open your mouth.
It's true, though.
Here's the handoff. Brookins. It picks up the first. Continues to power forward, getting to the 40, and he gains 12. And battles with the tackle.
And we talked about Brookins getting better every week as a power runner. We've seen him catch the ball out of the backfield. And we've criticized the offensive line for the Ravens here thus far, the couple games that we've had him this year, because of the protection that they've given Elvis, but they've done a nice job today of giving him protection and run blocking.
Marlon McCree has a sprained right ankle. X-rays were negative. Once again, Brookins trying to continue to run. This time he takes a loss, maybe a yard on the play. Prior to that run, 15 carries, 51 yards.
Now, this is no slouch defense he's going against. This Jaguar defense this year has played pretty solid across the board. They haven't been able to put points up on the board, and they've given up yardage, but they've kind of had that bend but not break philosophy as far as points given up. I think they're like 5th or 6th in the league.
Second down 9. At the 42-yard line. Brookins breaks it back, continues to run forward, picks up the first down. Some hard running by the young man out of Lane College. Undrafted rookie.
And let's watch Jason Brookins and some of this good line play inside. You see Big Mike Flynn holding off the side inside. And you see Brookins going ahead and see that hole and cut back. The flow from the Jaguar defense was going to their right side, and you see him hit that hole right when it opened up.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning with the score. Baltimore up 10-zip. Brookins with 4 straight carries for 31 yards. He's not in the game right now. Mo Williams, play action Grbac on the short roll, throwing off the run, and Taylor with the catch out of bounds, a gain of 17. And the clock stops at 1:54.
And Brian Billick's happy with that nice play action fake by Elvis Grbac, and Elvis is pretty excited about it too. Fooled all the Jaguars. You watch all the flow go away. There goes everybody. And Elvis does a nice job ball handling. He's got a little bit more speed than people realize. Throws well on the run. Travis Taylor right down the sideline, using the sideline in the 2-minute drill.
First down and 10 from the 32. Grbac 10 of 14, 126. Mo Williams into the line of scrimmage, goes backwards. Gary Walker, Danny Clark in on the play. So both teams with a full complement of timeouts remaining. Got to credit Matt Cavanaugh, the man on the right, with his play calling.
Call it dialing him up. Just dial him up.
Is that
baby.
what it is?
That's what you say when you're hot. Dial him up. He's dialing.
Matt Cavanaugh, former quarterback in this league, 2nd and 8 from the 30. Brookins back in the game. Grbac to pass. Finds Brookins out of the backfield. Gets his shoulder squared and tiptoes out of bounds at the 21.5. And Elvis talked to us about throwing the ball to Brookins out of the backfield.
And it's so important just to hit those checkdowns. You see there's 10 yards before anybody even touches Brookins. And Brookins does a smart thing for a young player. He actually gets out of bounds. I don't know how many times this year we've seen a guy try to cut it back, stay in bounds, keep the clock rolling, burn a timeout. Smart play. Get out of bounds, get the first down. Very important. And you see Elvis has done a great job this first half of spreading the ball around, not taking unnecessary chances.
First and 10 from the 21. Brookins lowers his shoulder, and he's stopped on the play by Tony Brackens and Seth Payne after a gain of 3. And that Jacksonville defense must be tired. Baltimore in the first half of play have had the ball 18 minutes and 29 seconds. As opposed to 10:33 for the Jags.
And that's a huge disparity, and that's been a really part of Jacksonville's problem all year. As you can see that, right there it is. Jacksonville, time of possession, and that means the defense is on the field so long and you get worn down. It's humid out there and you're playing against a tough offense.
2nd and 8 from the 19. Mo Williams goes backwards. Hard hit. Donovan Darius and TJ Slaughter closing on the play quickly. And the timeout has been called by Baltimore with 26 seconds remaining in the first half. On top 10-0. Coming up on the next Still Halftime Report, join Jim and company for the scores and highlights. Week 11 in the National Football League. 10th play of the drive that started at the Ravens 20. They're faced with 3rd and 7 at the 18. Here's Grbac. Back to pass. This one slipping out of his hand, incomplete as he goes down.
And I actually think his arm was hit while it was going forward. And once that arm starts forward, it's an incomplete pass. And let's check it out from ground level. You see Elvis standing back, and there goes his arm starting forward. It gets knocked out.
So the whistle did blow, so it's a non-reviewable play. And that brings on Matt Stover. Good today from 41. In to attempt a 36-yarder. Tom Coughlin has called a timeout. He wants the booth to take a look.
Now you can review whether the ball was hit out of Elvis's arm prior to going forward, but if they blew the whistle as with regards to who recovered the fumble or not, then it's not reviewable because the ball just sat there on the ground. And it does look like they're going to go check it out. And you see Elvis's hand start forward, but was that ball knocked out before? blowing right there, and so they spot the ball there. Now, the Jags got ripped off because they recovered the ball and were off looking to what would be a touchdown.
And Billick wants to kick this one quickly with 22 seconds remaining.
And remember, the whistle is designed to protect the players, and it looked like an incomplete pass initially, and so you blow the whistle. You don't want anybody getting hurt, and sometimes it comes back to haunt you, and that's exactly what happened. Because we had talked about the whistle being blown prior to Jacksonville picking it up, and so I wasn't quite sure how they were going to make that ruling.
One more time.
And so they did rule this is a fumble.
But the whistle blows when the ball hits the ground.
Yep.
So Stover into a 10 for 41-yarder. He's hit a 41-yarder already today. This one, it is no good. So the streak is over for Matt Stover. He had hit 18 in a row. His career best is 23 in a row. And with 10 seconds to go in the first half of play, the Ravens lead it 10-0. Another wild sequence. Ryan Billick saw some similar circumstances last week when his team took on the Cleveland Browns. So the Jaguars take over at their own 31, 10 seconds remaining. And it looks like Mark Brunell is going to try to throw the ball. Switches up, hands it off to Elvis Joseph, and that runs the clock out. So Elvis Grbac in the first half, 11 of 15, 135, and an interception. Coming up, it's the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Good to have you with us. Jim Nance from our Fifth Avenue studios, along with Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville, Mike Ditka, missing in action right now, deactivated with an old hip injury.
Hip injury.
Yeah, he'll be back next week.
Got hurt in the pregame, got a little hitch in his giddy-up. We couldn't get him out here quick enough.
All right, well, let's go to the board here, boys. Baltimore looking like that old Ravens defense here. Jags have only 72 yards offense first half.
Well, kind of celebrating the first half if you are a Baltimore Ravens fans. Jason Brookins scores right here, the only touchdown. Jason Brookins, former Jaguars practice player. But really, take it easy. A lot of teams have come back in this league so far this year.
Again, and then the Raiders so effective again today. He's thrown 2 touchdowns.
There's a fake pump left, pull the safety out, hit the other way. Tim Brown, a little older, got a little giddy up going, touchdown.
Garner caught 1, Crockett ran for 1. Arizona in the end zone with David Boston. San Diego's lost 3 straight, losing at home. Saints, 3 completions. That's it in the first half for Brooks. Brady has thrown 3 touchdowns. New England has amassed almost 300 yards total offense. Earlier today, Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart, what a day he had. He's the difference. 254 yards passing, 66 rushing himself.
You have now swept a Titans team that was just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
It's really significant because the last couple of years, they've been our nemesis. You know, they've won a division, and we felt in order for us to go out and try to win a division, we have to beat the champs. And they're the champs in this division. And we did that, and I think we made a statement today.
Bonnie with the bust. The Browns forced 7 turnovers.
Jim Couch to Kevin Johnson. He had 6 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. How do you like the chances of the playoffs?
It was a great day for us. I think our defense played very well, and offense just wanted to try not to put our defense in bad situations because we have an excellent defense, and if we can just keep the ball without turning the ball over, I think we got a great chance of going to the playoffs.
Hey, the Chiefs ran right past the Seahawks.
This is Mike Cloud. He's going up the middle for 16, but it really was Priest Holmes for 120.
First home win for the Chiefs. Meanwhile, Miami comes back from 10 down with 5 minutes to play.
Oh, right here, it's 27-27. Miami's kicking off. Buffalo just has to get the ball, be smart, set up a field goal. Oops. Nate Clements puts us on the ball on the ground. It is reviewed. It sets up the game-winning touchdown from Jay Fiedler to the rookie Chris Chambers out of Wisconsin. Beasley Reese caught up with Fiedler and asked him, how big was this game for you and the Dolphins?
It was a very big game for me, myself, and also for the team. You know, it was a huge win for us, getting back to 7-3, tied on top of the East. And, you know, for me, coming back with a big performance.
Me, myself, and Irene. Meanwhile, San Francisco picks Manning 4 times today.
Well, Peyton Manning could have used Irene on the other end of this one because Zach Bronson's going to bring it back all the way for a touchdown. 5th time this year that's happened to Peyton Manning. The 49ers had Garrison Hurst go over 100 yards. Garcia was solid. The defense got turnovers, and the Niners are 8-2.
Atlanta's won 3 straight.
This is Bob Christian on the toss sweep. He digs it in there. He had 78 yards rushing. He's the guy that beat the Packers in Green Bay last week.
They're 6-4 now, and Washington, what a turnaround this year.
The best we've seen so far is the way a team started bad, went better. Marty rebuilt them. Marty refocused them.
Marty's gone from people saying, hey, he ought to be fired to, hey, how about Marty for coach of the year? 5 straight wins.
I never understood why you'd say that.
I said he should be coach of the year at 0-5. I saw it coming. First time ever anyone turned it around 0-5 to 5-5. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Welcome back to Jacksonville. Ravens with a 10-0 lead. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. The Ravens have dominated this game from a statistical standpoint in the first half. However, they're only up 10-zip.
Well, that's why you got to score touchdowns in the red zone, but they have really taken it to this Jacksonville defense. Really huge, big advantage in time of possession. That's where the key's been. And you look at those numbers, and that is just total domination. And you think about the second half, is this Jacksonville defense going to get worn down? And, of course, on the other side of the ball, Baltimore's defense is fresh and ready to go, and they're looking like it. Jaguars have yet to convert a 3rd down, and that's key.
Elvis Grbac in that first half of play, 11 of 15, 135 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Jacksonville will have it to begin the second half of play. Danny Kite teeing it up. Elvis Joseph stands at his own goal line. Second half underway from Jacksonville. This one heading into the end zone, and it's a touchback. 4th touchback of the season for Kite. Jaguars start from their own 20. Mark Brunell has struggled in the first half of play, the entire offense. Punt, missed field goal, punt. And now they have it at the 20-yard line, down 10-0.
And their only good drive, they end up missing that field goal. And one of the keys for them in the second half is they've got to get other people involved other than Jimmy Smith, who's been blanketed all day by Chris McAllister. You've got to get the ball to Sean Dawkins. You've got to get it to Kyle Brady, Keenan McCardell.
First down and 10. Brunell, the pass on first down, throws underneath. It's incomplete. That one's sailing high. Intended for Jimmy Smith, who was open.
You know, 8 out of 10 times Jimmy Smith comes down that was that one. And the ball did sail a little bit on Mark. Watch Jimmy on the deep over route. Get his shoulders down, come across. Nice flat route coming across. And that was a little high. Just got his fingertips on it.
2 catches, 13 yards for Smith in the first half. Chris McAllister doing a really good job on the Pro Bowl receiver. Here's Stacey Mack running, spins forward. And Mack over the 25 up to the 28. Ray Lewis tripping him up after a gain of 8. So that will make it 3rd down and 2.
And with Fred Taylor out of this Jacksonville lineup, it's a different team. People know that they have to throw the ball to win. They're not going to be able to get 150 yards rushing and beat you that way, pound it out at you. They've got to throw the ball, and they're hoping that Fred Taylor makes it back before the end of the year.
This is his 8th straight miss after injuring his groin. Brunell under pressure. Brunell out of the pocket, ridden down. Big Sam Adams taking Mark Brunell down. 2nd sack of the day for the Ravens.
And you want to talk about collapsing the pocket. And Big Sam Adams told us yesterday, hey, I'd love to have a lot of sacks, but pressures on the quarterback really make the difference through the course of a game. And watch the pressure coming from Big 95. You're going to see it right up the gut. There he comes, running over defenders all along the way. And Mark Brunell, not a joyful meeting right there.
Adams coming off a Pro Bowl season.
You see him rip that ball out. Got a break with the whistle, blowing that play dead.
Hansen standing at the goal line. Lewis at his own 45. Wobbly end-over-end kick. Lewis fields it on the run. He's at the 40. Breaks it in and gets down to the Jacksonville 31. So the Ravens with excellent field position to start the second half of play. And here comes Elvis Grbac as Jermaine Lewis returns at 15 yards. Grbac with an opportunity to put more points on the board right here.
And we've talked about his efficiency in the first half. He has to continue to do that, and that was really the model for this offense last year. Not spectacular, just a very average offense along throughout the season. The defense carried him, and as long as they don't turn the ball over, this defense can keep you in and win most games for you.
From the 31. Cash and Brookins in the backfield. Here's Brookins running over the left side with running room. Gets to the 25. A gain of 6, and Brookins in the first half, 19 carries, 69 yards.
And you see Brookins continue to pound it up inside versus his old teammates. And you see those legs moving just a little harder today. Show those guys from Jacksonville just what they're missing out on.
Second down 4 from the 25. Brookins again. This time he's stopped in the backfield by Donovan Darius. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Darius, a hard-hitting safety out of Syracuse. And for Baltimore in the first half, unsuccessful on their first possession. However, they followed it up with a field goal and a touchdown. Brookins with a 2-yard run. 10-0 Ravens. 3rd and 4 at the Jacksonville 25. They need to go to the 21 for a first down. Grbac under pressure, dumps it off. It's caught. Mo Williams getting outside down the sideline. Stopped at the 2, but a flag on the play.
With him, the ball belongs to the offense at the 1-yard line. We also have unsportsmanlike conduct on number 20 of the defensive team. We'll go half the distance to the goal. It'll be an automatic first down.
Donovan Darius.
And Gus, one of those halfway deals where we talked. 2 guys came up with it, and that's what they were talking about. Let's watch Brookins inside. There's the fumble. And you can see him reaching back inside with that one left arm, and it's amazing that he ended up getting half possession of that. You know, when it's like in baseball when the tie goes to the runner, yes. 2 guys with the ball, it goes to the offensive player.
And it didn't look like he had half possession of it.
Boy, he got a that's called battling in the pile, because from that angle it looks almost impossible for him to get back on it.
Tom Coughlin will challenge this play. The red flag has been thrown onto the field. And Coughlin is talking to Larry Nemmer saying, can I get a break in this game? Every call has gone against Jacksonville.
Well, here's Brookins, and you're going to see there's the ball on the ground. You can't see it. It came out right there. You see that left arm right there reaching back in. Now, in that angle, it's amazing to me to think that the running back could get possession of the ball. Now, he was fighting and scratching inside. There's the ball out, and you see it go down. And in that angle, from that shot right there, it's amazing that he can come up with half possession of that ball.
And this is the better angle.
We know the ball comes out right there. Now it's underneath, and I'll watch his left arm right here on the ground. You see him reach back, but his right arm's being crushed right there. I don't know how he pulls that ball back in. And see, you talked about what goes on in a pile. All kinds of crazy stuff goes on. So you start having guys jump and push and tug and fight and scratch and bite, and all of a sudden he gets 2 arms around that ball, and it looks like when they uncover everybody, it looks like he had it the whole time. That's the tough thing.
Possession of the football in the field of play is not a challengeable play. Jacksonville will not be charged with a timeout.
So there you have it.
There you go. Not challengeable. The old tie goes to the runner trick.
So the Ravens have it. First down and goal at the Jacksonville 1. Brookins, Cash in the backfield. Here's Brookins diving over the top. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Brookins,
So the Ravens take a 16-0 lead.
And as nice as it looks for Brookins to get up and over and get that touchdown, the most spectacular play he had on that drive was getting that ball in the pile. Darn right.
So the second rushing touchdown of the day for Brookins. First Ravens player this season with multiple touchdowns in a game. Extra point is up and good. So with 11:07 to go in the third quarter, the Ravens take a 17-0 lead now. 17-0 Ravens on top of the Jaguars. Here in the third quarter of play, the scoring drive, 6 plays, 31 yards. Brookins with the second touchdown of the day, a 1-yard dive. And the Ravens will send it away. Danny Kite kicking off from the 30. Elvis Joseph back deep. The Jaguars need something to happen right now. They have been flat this entire game. Have had opportunities but unable to capitalize. Joseph decides to run it out, makes the reverse, stiff arms, and gets to the 18-yard line. A 21-yard return. 10:55 to play, third quarter. Mark Brunell looking for answers. 10:55 to go in the third quarter of play. Ravens on top of the Jaguars, 17-0. Jacksonville with the football, first down and 10 at their own 19. Brunell looking to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Patrick Washington, the rookie fullback out of Virginia. Read NFL.com for in-depth analysis from Marv Levy and Phil Simms. Get the inside scoop all week long at NFL.com or AOL, keyword NFL.com. Second and 10. Brunell steps up in the pocket, decides to run, and is chopped down at the 21. Sam Adams with a very good play to force Brunell out of the pocket. Sam listed at about 325, but he's a little heavier, but has quick feet.
And Gus, watch Jimmy Smith here. He gets outside, and there's nobody covering him down the field. Rod Woodson's inside. Mark Brunell missed him again. Second time today, he's looked the other way. Jimmy Smith probably getting a little frustrated. Nobody within 20 yards of him.
Third down and 7. They're 0 for 6 on third down conversions today. Here's Brunell firing down the field. Catch made and a first down. It's Jimmy Smith who took a lick. Ray Lewis drilling him. But it's a gain of 15 and he held on.
And Jimmy Smith running the deep curl. Let's listen to this one. Got to get tackled by Ray Lewis. Whoa. So you're getting covered by Chris McAllister, man for man, all day, all over the field. Then you catch a nice 15-yard hook route, and who's there to meet you? Ray Lewis.
First down 10 at the 38 for the Jags. Here's Joseph. Elvis loses the ball, fumble, and it's recovered by the Ravens.
And I'm not so sure that he wasn't down by contact, Gus.
That's what the officials are saying. Chris McAllister making the tackle on Joseph.
And I think Joseph flipped up in the air and came down. The ball came out when he hit the ground. Still, Elvis Joseph taking a big shot. He's going to try to hurdle. You see the hit coming from the outside. And the ball comes out right when he hits the ground, right on top of his shoulder. Good shot there on him by Chris McAllister. Been all over the field today.
Joseph takes a hard fall. He's still on the field. 9:07 to play in the third. Ravens with the big lead. The game summary: Baltimore with 228 yards in total offense. Jacksonville with only 88. So the offense has stalled today for Tom Coughlin's Jaguars. Joseph ran off the field on his own. Jacksonville faced with a second down and 7. at their own 41. Brunell out of the shotgun, throwing underneath, caught Carnell with the first down. Tracked down by Carnell Lake, but the chains continue to move. A gain of 8 for Jacksonville.
Keenan McCardell, the inside guy, and he's got to make some things happen. Coming across the field, man-to-man coverage. Mark Brunell just getting it off. Before he takes a big shot by Peter Boulware. And Keenan's going to have to step up and make some plays because Chris McAllister and Jimmy Smith are battling all day, and it's been a tough battle out there. Some of these other guys are going to have to step up and do something.
First down at the 48. Brunell looking. Brunell sacked. Once again, the third of the day, this time Peter Boulware. Boulware forced to play a lot on the line of scrimmage today as a down lineman, and he has been sensational.
Watch him with his hand down over Fordham. Great job filling in for Mike McCrary today. Peter Boulware, usually a stand-up linebacker, putting his hand down. Look at that spin move. Spin right back into the cornerback. And he's got some pass rush moves as displayed right there. Peter Boulware, very impressive today.
2nd and 13. Brunell fires. Smith with the catch at midfield. Taking Rod Woodson, but Peter Boulware played at Florida State. And he had an opportunity while in college to play as a down lineman and rush the passer. As a matter of fact, came to the Ravens, he had to really adjust.
Jags defense into thinking, hey, we're going to hit the backs, we're going to hit the tight end, kind of lulling you, we're going to run the ball, and all of a sudden, maybe those corners, maybe those safeties start cheating up where you can get the Flyers swinging downfield and taking a shot downfield because they haven't taken it all day.
Or a Brandon Stokely. Stokely lines up this time at the top of your screen at wide receiver, 2nd and 6. From the 41, here's the handoff, Brookins. And Brookins gets inside the 40. Seth Payne with the tackle.
And 3. 3rd down, Ravens.
And for the Ravens, they have won their last 16 games when leading after the 3rd quarter of play. A remarkable statistic. On top 17-7 now, and they are answering Jacksonville. We've got the 4-yard touchdown from Stacey Mack. 3rd and 3 at the 39. They need to go to the 35. Here's the draw once again. Williams. Will he get the first down? I don't think so. He will not. He will not get the first down. Battles coming up and making a nice tackle.
And you made the call because I think Williams was going to bounce off and get that first down. And you're going to see Battles come out of nowhere and just deliver a huge blow. Watch Mo Williams on the draw for the 2nd time on 3rd down. Right there, he keeps his legs going, and that was the shot right there. You see Battles taking him off his feet and driving him back into the backfield. Brings him up a yard short.
Kyle Richardson, 2nd in the AFC with 19 punts down inside the 20-yard line. This one, he kicks it high in the air. And Gibson with the fair catch signal at the 12. Good job by Kyle Richardson. Jacksonville pinned deep. .11:05 to go here in the 4th quarter of play, and the Ravens are holding on to a 17-7 lead. The game summary, time of possession, a big statistic, 29-19 in favor of the Ravens. However, Jacksonville has it. 1st and 10 at their own 13.
And no secret, they're going to be throwing the ball during this series.
Brunell finds Matt wide open down the sideline, cuts it across the field, spins and gets to the 38. Peter Boulware with the tackle. It's a 25-yard gain.
And versus that 2 deep coverage, go ahead, take the middle of the field or get the ball out to your backs. We haven't seen Stacey Mack with the ball in his hands out of the backfield today. Nice cutback, gets about 8 extra yards. The Ravens D thought he was going out of bounds.
So a first down at the 38. Here's Brunell. This time it's caught. McCardell with the catch. And he's tackled by Starks. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. No quit in these Jaguars.
No, and just when you thought they weren't going to have any offensive production all day, all of a sudden they've got some momentum. The defense has started to play harder, run around the the ball, be around the ball carrier more. Offense is starting to make plays.
Here's McCardell with running room. Keenan McCardell down at the 25. A 26-yard gain. And the no huddle starting to work now for Jacksonville.
Watch the middle of the field here. Here's the soft spot. McCardell finding it. Brunell stepping up, making the throw. And I think this Ravens defense is starting to get a little tired. That's why they're keeping the no huddle going.
Here's Brunell. Dumps it off the screen. Mack splits the defense. Down the sideline. Dragging Ravens with him. And Mack is down at the 12. A 15-yard gain.
Perfect time for the screen call. Everybody knows in the stadium you're going to throw the ball, but here comes the screen. Get the lineman out in front of Stacey Mack. Stacey Mack, great job following his blockers. Step in, step out. And Corey Harris hanging on for dear life. And Stacey Mack, good job of getting down before he gets drilled.
First down at the 12. Brunell into the end zone. And knocked away at the last moment. Rod Woodson.
None other than, because down there in the end zone, Rod Woodson is a big-time player. He's going to be going into the Hall of Fame. And I saw Jimmy Smith break across the end zone, and I thought, there's a touchdown. And there you see Rod just go ahead and lay out. And Tom Coughlin thought we had it too. Maybe Mark Brunell puts a little bit more air on that. But what a heck of a play there by Rod Woodson, laying out and knocking down the sure touchdown.
Jaguars do need a field goal. 2nd and 10 at the 12.
Watch the screen, Trey. Watch the screen, Trey.
Brunell, draw play. Mack trying to break it outside, and Corey Harris comes up and closes on the play quickly.
Huge tackle by Corey Harris, and that's not the first time that's been said this year. A couple weeks ago on Monday night, Steve McNair running that sneak on the last play of the game, initially stopped, bounced outside, and Corey Harris came up and just laid the wood on Steve McNair, kept him out of the end zone and preserved that Ravens victory.
3rd down 10 at the 12. They need to go to the 3 for a first down. Here's Brunell. Steps up, looking. Finds Smith. Can he get the angle? Smith, touchdown Jacksonville. And now we've got a ball game.
Sooner or later, Gus, Jimmy Smith was going to have an impact in this game. You see him coming across, zone coverage, and the greatest thing he does, he catches the ball and he gets vertical. You don't see that dancing around that so many guys do. Catch the ball, nose for the first down, actually took it all the way into the end zone.
Hollis to cut it to 3. 8:16 to play in the 4th. A flag on the play, and it may go against Jacksonville.
Holding, offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty, and we'll retry.
89 is Randall Williams. We'll check that. Ryan Prince.
And what goes from a chip shot extra point becomes a significant 30-yard extra point.
So Hollis backed up. Ball will be spotted at the 20. It's up and good. But another flag on the play.
Offside, defense, number 21. The 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The extra point is good.
McAllister, so Jimmy Smith with the huge touchdown for the Jaguars, and he tells the fans, we're right back in this one. This is last night, fireworks on the St. Johns River. This evening, Tom Coughlin has lit a fire under his Jaguars with 8:16 to go. The Jimmy Smith touchdown makes it a 17-14 game. Ravens on top of the Jaguars. So Hollis ready to send it away. Corey Harris, Jermaine Lewis back deep. Line drive. Harris picking it up at the 10. And Harris goes down at the 21. A 16-yard return. He's stopped by Kawaki Thomas. 8:06 to go. 3-point game. A lot to cheer about here in Jacksonville. As you take a look at the Jaguars scoring drive, the 12-yard touchdown, Brunell to Jimmy Smith. 1st and 10 at the 26. Grbac looks over the middle, caught by Shannon Sharp. And Sharp dives forward to the 32, a gain of 6 on the play. Elvis has only thrown 4 passes this half. And
you guys, let's go back to that last touchdown. Watch Jimmy Smith running the short cross route. Now watch Carnell Lake. He's got the zone route, but watch Keenan McCardell push him deep. He gets too deep in his zone right here. He needs to be up here. There's Jimmy Smith. He realizes it too late. Jimmy Smith's got the speed to beat him to the corner of the end zone.
Wilkins running, and Gary Walker says not here. Wilkins back to the line of scrimmage, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 4 from the 32.
And Gary Walker getting penetration inside, and TJ Slaughter cleaning up.
They need to go to the 36 for 1st down. Big play for both teams.
Watch the middle of that Baltimore Ravens offensive line. That's where they've been susceptible, up those A-gaps. See if Jacksonville blitzes that spot.
Matt Cavanaugh has liked the draw play on 3rd down in the 2nd half. Here's Grbac to throw, looking, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Travis Taylor, but a flag on the play.
And I think they might call pass interference, and I'm not sure if they're going to call Travis Taylor for pushing off. I think they might, because the way that was thrown and the way he came back to the ball so quickly, and that's exactly what they're going to call.
Offensive pass interference, number 89. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So the Ravens have to punt it away. Jacksonville with an opportunity. Gibson stands at the 25. High spiraling kick. Gibson from the 24. Gibson reverses, and he is swarmed under by Corey Harris. A 44-yard punt, 2-yard return. .33 to play in the 4th quarter. The Ravens are on top of the Jaguars 17-14. Mark Brunell has orchestrated 2 long drives, one 10-play drive of 71 yards and another 7-play drive of 87 yards, both resulting in touchdowns, and they take over right now at their own 24. 1st down. Out of the shotgun. Here's Brunell. Steps up. Caught Dawkins over the middle. Holds onto the ball and gets to the 45. And that ball was thrown at about 120 miles an hour. He really put the mustard on it.
And the momentum swing in the 2nd half is unbelievable. You see Mark Brunell step up. He's got some adrenaline. Dawkins coming across the middle, finding that spot in the zone. We've talked about the middle of this Ravens defense.
Gain of 21. Brunell again. Out of the pocket and gets rid of it. Flag on the play. Could be a holding penalty against Baltimore, and then a late flag coming in.
And that's going to be a
Lionel
grounding.
Dalton.
The late one, Gus, looks like a potential intentional grounding, because Mark Brunell did not break the pocket. And when the quarterback is trying to avert a loss, that's what they call.
There were 2 fouls on the offense. Holding. No, I'm sorry. Tripping on number 73. That penalty is declined. Intentional grounding on the quarterback. That penalty is accepted. That's a spot foul. Loss of down. It'll be 2nd down.
And it's very obvious. You take the intentional grounding because it's
a loss of down.
Loss of down, exactly. And you see Mark Brunell, you're going to see him not get out of the pocket. You've got to be able to get out of the pocket, which is tight end to tight end, and get that ball out of there back to the line of scrimmage, and he didn't do just that.
So they now have it 2nd down and a long 24. They lose 14 yards on the play at the 31. Brunell out of the shotgun again. Brunell to the sideline, incomplete over the head of Mack. And that'll make it 3rd and 24.
Boy, and that ends up, if they don't convert here on that 3rd down, that ends up being a huge intentional grounding there on 1st down. The momentum swing was great in favor of the Jaguars after that crossing route to Sean Dawkins, and then after the penalty, the momentum swung back to the Ravens side.
So 3rd down, 24. They need to go to the Ravens 45 for a 1st down. 3 receivers. McCardell, Dawkins at the bottom of your screen. Smith at the top. Here's Brunell looking for the home run to Smith down the sideline, out of bounds. McAllister with good coverage. Jacksonville has to punt it away. So the Jaguars have to hope, Brent, that their defense can give them the ball once again.
Well, I think the big key here in the 2nd half is the offense has sustained some drives for Jacksonville, so the defense has been rested, and they've been flying around the ball a lot more than they were in the 1st half. And this Baltimore Ravens offense hasn't really got it going here in the 2nd half.
Hansen from the 16. The dangerous Jermaine Lewis at his own 26. High spiraling kick toward the sideline. Lewis from the 20. And Lewis knocked out of bounds. A 49-yard punt. Let's see where they spot it. They spot it at the 28. Now Monday on CBS, for years, Carol Burnett made us laugh. Now she'll join Harvey, Tim, and Vicky for a brand new special with never before seen outtakes and plenty of surprises. Don't miss the Carol Burnett Show. Showstoppers on CBS. Laugh your head off Monday. 1st down, 10 from the 28-yard line for the Ravens on top of the Jaguars, 17-14. Elvis Grbac to pass, looking up top. He's got a man, incomplete. Ismail had a step on Aaron Beasley, but Elvis Grbac overthrows it.
Well, we've been waiting for that all day. They hadn't taken that shot, and we were just going to see if Aaron Beasley was going to be lulled into thinking that they were just going to run short routes, and there goes Ismail, has a step on him. And you can't criticize the Ravens for taking a shot. You got to see how these Jags corners are playing. But Beasley wasn't fooled. And, you know, going back to this Ravens offense, they've done exactly what they needed to do. They had a 17-point lead, 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Elvis has to stay away, though, from the turnover. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Grbac underneath. Taylor comes back, makes the catch, dives forward, and should have a 1st down. 11-yard gain.
One of the toughest things to teach young wide receivers is come back to the ball. A lot of times they just stand there, wait for the ball to get to them. Elvis throwing the ball in the hole, and you see Travis Taylor coming back to the ball. That's one of the basics that they teach you in receiving. You've got to be able to do that, and for some reason, young receivers like to wait for the ball to get to them. Nice move by Travis Taylor, helping out his quarterback.
3 catches, 48 yards for Taylor. 1st and 10 at the 39. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Brookins, no room over the left side. He gains a yard, gets to the 40. Brackens and
Brookins.
Darius in on the tackle.
Brackens and Brookins.
Brackens and Brookins, exactly. A full complement here. 2nd down and 9. Both teams with all of their timeouts. Here's the toss. Brookins getting outside. Loses it. Picked up Brackens. And the Ravens turn it over. Tony Brackens snags it out of midair. And with 4:19 to play, the Ravens turn it over for the 2nd time.
And Gus, I think it was Danny Clark filling in for Kevin Hardy, 55, putting his helmet right on the ball. That's exactly it. You see the ball pop up. Brackens, Johnny on the spot. While that ball's getting ready to head out of bounds, Danny Clark delivering the shot, helmet on the ball, and sometimes when that helmet hits the ball, there's nothing you can do. That ball's coming out no matter what. Bracken's doing a great job to hang on to the ball and stay in bounds.
So now the Jaguars get a chance to play with a short field. First and 10 at the Ravens 38. Brunell, the draw play. Mack looking, and he is downed at the 35. A gain of 3. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the National Football League on CBS. I'm Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. Our score, the Ravens on top of the Jaguars 17-14. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety following this game, except in the Mountain and Pacific time zones. 2nd and 7 from the 35. Here's Brunell underneath. It's caught at the 20. Jimmy Smith.
And how many big plays have we seen at that 15-yard range right over the middle of the field? And that's where this Jags team started attacking. Finally, you see Jimmy Smith running that deep over route, come across, use your body, shield the defender from the ball. And the Jags continue with this no-huddle offense that has this Ravens defense tired.
Picked up 15. Here's Mack cutting. And Mack dropped at the 15. Carnell Lake with the hard hit, but Mack picking up positive yardage, this time 5.
Now you got to be smart if you're Jacksonville right here. The least you want to come away with is that timed field goal. You're playing at home, you got to have the 3. Don't take chances. If you're going to hit a receiver, make sure he's got 2 steps on the defender. Don't need an interception now.
2nd and 5. Brunell to the sideline. Great catch. Dawkins climbing up high, picks up the first down. And the clock continues to run. 8-yard gain.
Mark Brunell seeing that Dawkins has a couple steps on Dwayne Starks. Starks playing that soft zone. See Dawkins get up and make that grab, and Gus, now they're inside the 10. So it's either a touchdown or field goal. You cannot turn the ball over. You cannot take a risk right here. Go ahead and use your wide receivers, but as that field narrows, you got to use your big tight end as well.
First down and goal from the 7. Brunell changes the play. Here's Brunell. Quick strike. Jimmy Smith lost the ball. Who's got it? Jimmy Smith on the hitch. And the Jaguars dodge a huge bullet.
And I think the big right tackle, Maurice Williams, gets out there from his offensive tackle spot. Watch this hustle. Corey Harris once again laying the wood. And look at big number 74 coming out from his tackle spot.
The rookie out of Michigan deserves a game ball if this Jaguars team goes on to win this one. 2 minutes to go. 17-14 Ravens. Alltel Stadium, Jacksonville, Florida. The Ravens and the Jaguars. The Ravens at one time up 17-14, but Jacksonville has scored 14 unanswered points. Rookie running back Jason Brookins fumbles the ball, and now Jacksonville has a chance to go ahead. 2nd down goal at the Baltimore 9. Here's the pass. It is incomplete. Intended for Jimmy Smith. And Jimmy Smith with a big 12-yard touchdown here in the second half of play. Here it was.
And Jimmy Smith's just going to run a short crossing route, zone coverage. Watch him catch the ball and get right upfield. No dancing around. Gets into the corner of the end zone. Big momentum swing. Then this big Jason Brookins fumble. You see Tony Bracken's Johnny on the spot, grabbing it before it goes out of bounds.
3rd down and goal from the 9-yard line. They're 4 of 12 on 3rd down conversion. Here's Brunell in the end zone, incomplete. And a flag on the play late.
And Gus, no question about it, Carnell Lake getting to the receiver before the ball.
Defensive pass interference, number 37, automatic, first down.
Here comes Jimmy Smith on the inside route. You see Carnell Lake just take a shot at him. The ball's already in the air, pass interference.
And Brunell knew that a flag should have been thrown. Now Jacksonville in great shape. First down and goal at the Baltimore 5, 1:52 to play. Here's the handoff. Mack running straight ahead, and Mack gets to the 3. The Ravens have won 16 straight games when leading after 3 quarters.
And Gus, this has really been the story of 2 halves. Baltimore absolutely dominated the first half. Jacksonville had 88 yards. Their offense didn't show up till 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Then they've gone to this no huddle, and they've worn down this Ravens defense.
Timeout on the field called by the Ravens. 17-14, back after this. Just a reminder, 60 minutes will be coming up next, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. 1:36 to play. Jaguars have it 2nd and goal from the 3. Brookins, who fumbled the ball, can't watch. What do you run down here, Brent?
Gus, I really like the tight end play action. You've got to make sure your receiver has 2 steps on his defender. You can't force the ball.
Brady, the tight end, at the bottom of your screen. McCardell in motion. Here's the handoff. Mack, touchdown Jacksonville. Unanswered points for the Jaguars, looking to make it 21. Hollis in to attempt the extra point. It's up and good. 21 unanswered points for the Jaguars, who refused to quit after being down 17-0. And with 1:32 to play, they've taken a 21-17 lead.
Let's watch Stacey Mack coming right at you. Watch Maurice Williams kick out, block outside. That allows for this hole to open up right there. Maurice Williams making the key block, and Gus just a few plays ago made that key fumble recovery when Jimmy Smith dropped the ball on the flanker screen. Maurice Williams hustling out from the tackle spot. Man, what a play by that youngster today.
He's got to be the player of the game for this Jacksonville team if they hold on. Tom Coughlin on the sideline. He'll take it.
And Gus, when you're trying to repeat as a Super Bowl champions, everything's coming at you. There's so many distractions. And you know what? Part of the problem is you get caught up in the distractions. You get caught up with what's being written about you, what's being said on TV. You've got to focus on the game. You can't worry about the periphery. You've got to worry about football, and that's why it's so hard to repeat in the National Football League.
1:32 to go. Hollis ready to send it away. Lewis and Harris back deep. They're on their feet here in Jacksonville. Line drive. Harris will get a chance to run it from the 11. Harris bottled up and chopped down at the 25. Make it the 26. Danny Clark with a nice special teams tackle. Now tonight on 60 Minutes, Thomas Kincaid has sold more canvases than Rembrandt, Renoir, and Van Gogh, Monet as well. That's why he's on 60 Minutes, followed by Oscar winner Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan in the blockbuster comedy You've Got Mail tonight on CBS. Brookins on the sideline.
Ravens still have 2 timeouts left in minute 26. Gus, they can use the sideline. Got to use the middle of the field. If I'm Elvis right now, I'm looking for Shannon Sharp.
Your referee today, Larry Nimmers. We have no idea what that was.
I think Larry lost a button.
First down and 10 from the 26. Here's Elvis Grbac. Looking underneath, incomplete. Mo Williams, the intended receiver. T.J. Slaughter covering.
And how many times have we said T.J. Slaughter here in the second half, and we've given so much credit to the Jacksonville offense, but what about the Jacksonville defense? Gary Walker, Tony Brackens, T.J. Slaughter, Danny Clark on that big hit on Jason Brookins that got the ball out. They've been all over the field.
2nd and 10. Timeouts remaining. 2 for the Ravens, 3 for the Jaguars. Here's Grbac, steps up in the pocket, underneath. It's caught. Ismael turns it up, gets to midfield. Clock keeps running.
And the Jaguars are so lucky that Ismael didn't have his feet under him, because that coverage came too far down inside. He could have been off to the races if he had his feet under him.
Grbac stops the clock with 1:02 to go. So a huge gain for Ismael, 25 yards.
Watch when Qadry Ismail gets his ball outside and he turns it and he just stumbles just a little bit. But there's nobody outside out here. Usually that stumble right there or he's gone. There's nobody there. He runs right by everybody.
Yes, he does. 2nd and 10 at the Jacksonville 49. Elvis Grbac could become a huge hero if he leads his team back here. Here's Elvis stepping up, looking, throws on the run, completes it on the run at the 34. A 14-yard pickup for Brandon Stokely, and Elvis stops the clock again. A flag on the play.
And the flag's going to be 12 men on the field for Jacksonville. Tried to run a substitution. That's not the time you run a substitution when the other team's getting up on the ball. Gary Walker didn't get off the field. So it's going to be 12 men on the field for Jacksonville.
Grbac
just getting that ball off before the line of scrimmage.
The defense had 12 men on the field. They were also offside. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The standings in the Central. Pittsburgh winning today at Tennessee. Cleveland winning today at home against Cincinnati. And Baltimore trying to keep up with the Steelers. So Elvis Grbac threw 4 interceptions last week against Cleveland. Fumbled it once. 1st and 5 at the 27. Here's Elvis standing strong. Caught. His tight end, Shannon Sharp, with the catch. And he calls a timeout with 36 seconds to play.
And that's your go-to guy in times of need. Find your tight end. Shannon Sharp running a square out from the tight end position. Elvis standing in, making the good throw outside. Shannon going up, catching the ball in his hands.
And Elvis, after the tough outing last week, was booed. As a matter of fact, the fans at PSI Net Stadium chanted for the backup to come in, Randall Cunningham. But Elvis told us yesterday that he's seen more pressure in his career, especially in Kansas City, than what he's been seeing thus far. And that he is the starting quarterback of this team. Brian Billick saying that Elvis is his man. Cunningham defeated Jacksonville earlier this season. 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville 17. Here's Elvis. Under pressure over the middle, caught. Close to the goal line, it's Ismael in traffic. A 16-yard gain with 25 seconds to play.
And I'm just amazed at how soft this Jaguar defense has been on this drive. They keep playing soft coverage.
And Elvis spikes it with 19 to go. So Elvis Grbac with an impressive drive to get this Ravens team in scoring position.
And watch how Elvis stands tall in the pocket, puts the ball right in the hole. Qadry Ismail going up, getting contact, using his body, taking the shot. Great job. And Elvis has been flawless today, other than one throw down the seam to turn into an interception. Very efficient, huge play right here. Only one timeout left.
The drive started at the 26. Brookins on the pitch towards the corner, chopped down. Heck of a play by TJ Slaughter with 14 seconds to go. And a timeout has been called by Baltimore, their final timeout.
And Gus, that's the risk you take when you run the ball down here, that if you get stopped, you've got to burn that timeout. There's no other way to stop the clock other than get the team up on the ball. And we talked about TJ Slaughter being all over the field. Watch this diving attempt, because if he doesn't get him, Brookins is going in. He beat Tardy Nickerson to the end zone. Great play, TJ Slaughter.
So now no timeouts remaining for Baltimore. Here's a question for you. On third down goal at the 3. What do you run in this situation?
I like to roll the quarterback out. Roll him out to the right with strong side. Give him some options. The run pass, or he can throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. The key thing that you don't want is a sack, because time runs out and you lose the game. You've got to get rid of the ball. You can't stand in the pocket and take a sack.
Mo Williams lines up as a wide receiver at the top of your screen. Empty backfield. Here's Elvis inside, touchdown. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe broke free, and the Ravens take the lead with 9 seconds to go. Unbelievable.
And that's what Tom Coughlin's saying to himself. Unbelievable is right. And what a touch Elvis Grbac put on that ball. Shannon Sharpe hanging out, looking it right in. Here comes the blitz. Elvis feels it 3 steps, throwing off his back foot. And you see Shannon Sharpe catches one, drags the other.
Elvis Grbac quiets the doubters in Baltimore as he leads this Ravens team on a tremendous comeback. Shannon Sharpe capping it off with the touchdown.
And how about the ebb and flow, Gus, of the NFL this year? Elvis Grbac getting booed last week, throwing the 4 interceptions. Brian Billick sticking with his quarterback, and Elvis answering all the questions all day long. Here's Shannon Sharpe. There's the 1 foot. See him drag the toe on the back. Great job. Outstanding receiver. Great camo work. All the above. No question. Touchdown. And Elvis Grbac has answered the critics today in spite of the fact that his defense let him down in the second half.
Grbac 4 of 6, 71 yards on the drive. He took over with 1:32 left in the game. And here's Stover in to attempt the extra point. It's up and good. 9 seconds to go. 24-21, Baltimore.
And you talked about a gut check. And if the Ravens have any success the rest of this year, Gus, they're going to point back to this game, to this drive, to their quarterback standing tall and moving him down the field on the road, making this throw right here versus the blitz. One-on-one is light. His big tight end, Shannon Sharpe, doing a great job getting his feet in bounds. One heck of a toss right there. Under pressure, blitz, with all of the above, all the issues that have hung over him for the last week.
And Brian Billick knew how important this touchdown pass was, how important this drive was for his team and his starting quarterback.
And those 2 guys right there, Saragusa, they know that that was the drive of their season.
And Tom Coughlin tried to call a timeout before the pass had been thrown. A day late and $1 short.
Well, Ainsley Battles found out the hard way that if you're going to cover Shannon Sharpe on the goal line, you better get your hands on him right now, because he's going to break free. And that's a tough assignment one-on-one that I wouldn't want, but Shannon Sharpe wins that one every time.
Still 9 seconds remaining. Danny Kite, kick it away. Pooches it. And it's caught at the 30-yard line. And they go down at the 36. Just a reminder, 60 minutes will be coming up next, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. So with 4 seconds to go, Rob Meyer on the return. Here come the Jacksonville Jaguars. The ball spotted at the 36-yard line.
And Gus, you throw it downfield, you're not going to be able to make it into the end zone. Run a crossing route, get a couple guys there, and hope for an interference and maybe a shot at a field goal. Or the other thing you can do, run that deep hook route and pitch it, the old hook and lateral. Those are your best chances in this situation to catch the Ravens by surprise, but it's a tough call at this point.
They load up the top of your screen. Here's Brunell, looks backside, wants to set up and throw it. Brunell steps up, and Brunell is sacked. And that's your ball game. Adalius Thomas with the sack. The Ravens dodge a bullet as they jump on the back of this man. Elvis Grbac and defeat the Jaguars 24-21. Elvis Grbac, 21 of 30, 259 yards, only one touchdown, but that's all he needed. And here it is.
Elvis feeling the blitz, three-step drop. You see him fading away. Great touch, puts it right up where only one man can catch it. His tight end or nobody, Shannon Sharp. Great job looking into his hands, dragging the back foot, and he knows it. Touchdown.
Brian Billick believing in his starting quarterback, who he lured over from Kansas City for $35 million. He was the GOAT last week. Elvis Grbac is a hero today. So for Brent Jones, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Jacksonville, where the final 24-21.